etc. Right, good morning. Where the hell am I off to today? Well, the heated seats are on full because I'm absolutely freezing, so it must be early. Today we are off to St Mary's Island. And that sounds highly religious. Now, it's not Holy Island, it's St Mary's Island, and I'll explain the basic area. So, northeast of England, in Northumberland, you have the North Sea. Now, you have a port called Blythe, and then as you head south, you have a stretch called Long Sands, and then you get to Seaton Sluice. Now, I've done a video at Seaton Sluice before. I went to Starlight Castle, which was, I'm not going to tell you, you've got to watch the video to find out. It wasn't what I expected. I'll put a link in the description. So, you've got Sluice, and then I'm going to walk from Sluice to St Mary's Island. So it's just a walk south. I go past Collywell Bay, which has a thing in it called Charlie's Garden. Now, I've always known it as Charlie's Garden since a kid, but when I get there, I'll explain why it's called Charlie's Garden. It's got nothing to do with Charlie as in, you know, cocaine. It's a different kind of Charlie. Get off the road! Pigeon just sat on the road there, very nice. Okay, so as you go along south, you then come to an area called Hartley, so I'll go through Hartley Bay, and then eventually you end up at St Mary's Island in the bay. Now, what is St Mary's Island? Well, St Mary's Island is a small island detached from the headland, which has a causeway. Now, it's tidal, so you can only get there at certain times of the day, so I hope I've read the timetables properly, hopefully. So if I get there and it's shut, well, that's tough. I'll through the magic of editing, I'll sort that out. Now, it's called St Mary's Island because of the religious connotations. It used to have a chapel on a long time ago, and I think it was dedicated to St Helen, but the local idiots got the wrong end of the stick and thought, well, it's something to do with Mary, that'll do. So when it eventually became a lighthouse, they called it St Mary's Island, even though it had nothing to do with St Mary, but it was still religious. And in fact, at one point, I think there was an inn on there, like a pub really, an alcohol place, and there was that many drunks and rabble mucking about that the people who owned it got evicted. Were more or less told, bugger off, because of the problems they were causing. So, Lighthouse now, it's been decommissioned. I can remember as a kid, the light used to work, but not now. Now it's lit up, but it's certainly not used. And I presume that's the same with a lot of lighthouses, because we've got GPS now. So we'll see what we can find, and wish me luck. And I want to see what I can see on the beach, because normally you can do a little bit of foraging. I mean, when I was a kid, the amount of stuff you get off the beach, winkles, mussels, limpets, you name it. Oh, nice, getting the right side of the road there. Some people on bicycles, they're nuts. So we'll see what we can find. Bye bye! Now there's a boat. Right, well, here we are in Seaton Sluice. But I've spotted something, look. Who's that? See that? Rabbit just sitting about, not bothered. Now, I should be able to get a better view up there, but I've spotted something. And not the cheeky rabbit from over there. Let's have a look. It looked like a bunker, but I'm not sure. You seem to get a lot of these bunkers around, like rivers. Remember the one that I spotted up at Mitford? Now, what's this structure here? Now, it's obviously man-made, but look. Now, what the hell's in there? I mean, it goes deep in. You can even hear the echo, but I'm not sure what's in there. I think that might have been some sort of defensive thing. I mean, look, it overlooks the river, but God knows what it was. I mean, that's concrete, so who knows? I don't think I can get in unless there's a thing at the back. No, look. Some sort of strange little entrance there, but that's if you can't get in, otherwise I'd be in there having a look. Let's get a better view of things. Aha, here we go. So, there's Blythe over there. Sunny Blythe. And there's a guy with his dog trolling about. Now I could go down there and along, but it's easier if I go across this bridge because I want to have a look at some of the houses over there. There's the point, as people sometimes call it. And that building on the left was something to do with the lifeboats, I think. I did have a look. Sure, I'm losing my marbles. And there's the War Monument over there. Very important. The flag waving. So let's get ourselves along, eh? Nice day as well. Not bad. I wonder what's in that bunker thing. I want to get in there now. If only I had a spade. What are those pigeons up to? I think that's a male on the right and a female on the left. They look mighty suspicious anyway, so we'll continue along here. Morning! Oh, just met a bloke who's deaf there, so I'll continue along here. Bloody hell. Now whose job was it to put all those stones in there? That's the sort of job you give the new starter, isn't it? You say, right, there's a bag of stones over there, I've got a little job for you. 7 days later, they're in hospital with a bad back. Aye, so we're down here. Now this is tidal. That's why all the boats look stranded. They ain't going anywhere until the tide comes in. I think a couple of hours ago maybe it was low tide, so they're not going anywhere. Not yet anyway. Oh, there's that bloke who I said morning to, and he just looked at me like I was a piece of shit. So nice morning, head. Anyway, let's see where that kid's going. There, even though it looks like a castle, it isn't. That's mock. That used to be the harbour master, I think. It's some Poncy gallery now. And there's the beer. And we need to be down here. Look at that sky. I want to go and say hello to this guy here who is named The guardian of the sea. Should be called the Geordie of the sea. In fact, I think there's two. Ah, there's the first one. Now, I presume it's some sort of effigy of Neptune, which was the Greek god of water, wasn't he? Imagine that's your job. Ah, you'll be the fisherman, eh? I want to throw thunderbolts. No. You sort out the crabs. Quite nice. Ah, that's Poseidon. You see, he's got the trident. Of course, the sun's behind it, so it's hard to see. There you go. That's a bit better. There's a little boat. Now, I'm not going to go in the pub. I need to be behind the pub and then you can get along. The King's Arms, I think this pub's been here for years. Ah, there you go, there's that building that we saw before. Watch House, that's what it was. Jesus, everywhere you go, there's a car up your arse. Bugger off. I think there's another guardian in there we can work my way around. Good God, look at this. It's like a cross between a Viking and the Wicker Man. Which god's that? Aphrodite's? I'm not sure. I wonder if there's a lot of Greeks around here. Right, what on earth have we got here? Let's have a look. Right, we've got Turtle Boy. Please look inside. I'm a bit scared, to be honest. Free bra fit in there. Oh, you guys there. Oh, do you want a broken light bulb? Nah, you're alright. Ah, here we go. Art. Oh, here we go. It's not modern art. Do you know what? At least I can tell what some of it's supposed to be. You know, not like that modern art I saw. Dear me, that was horrific. So there's Victor the Viking. Of course, Vikings didn't have horned helmets. That was a modern slant. But just like any other seafaring race, really came and conquered places and dominated through trade. And they happen to be pretty proficient fighters as well. There's some right strange stuff here. What's on this? Looks like someone's melted to death. That looks like it's off a Norse ship, doesn't it? Anyway, I'm like a budgerigar, aren't I? Look! Shiny things! Now there's a proper lobster pot. I've shown you a lobster pot before. Who's that? That's Zeus. And there's the watch house. And there's like a mock sheep or something, I don't know what that is. And if I can get up here by doing some dramatic splits over the fence. And there's Dolly the sheep. Here we go. We'll see what's going on now. There's St Mary's in the distance. See it? That's St Mary's Island. If you've been paying attention, you'll know why it's called St Mary's, because I told you. But if you're part of the YouTube generation and you skip around, ooh, you'll not have a clue. You youngins these days, blah blah blah. It says danger there, dangerous cliffs. Aren't all cliffs dangerous by definition? You know, just don't be an idiot and you'll be alright. Well, there's plenty of seats here. Are they expecting an armada to turn up? I feel more like I'm at the seaside now because I can hear the waves crashing. Aye, so here we go. I can show you some bits and pieces now. So, There's the first waste pipe where jobbies come out. There's another one where jobbies come out. Anyway, that's the jobbies covered. Not a bad day. There's Collywell Bay, which is, so from there all the way, and it's almost like a semicircle. And that there is Charlie's Garden. So you're probably thinking, what is he talking about? What the hell is a Charlie's Garden? Well, it's that stack. Now, why the hell is it called Charlie's Garden? Well, allegedly, it's because that used to be attached to the mainland, and a guy called Charlie had his garden there. Well, it stretched onto there, allegedly. I'm yet to find a sensible source on that. It may be true because those are allotments, i.e. gardens. So it may be that the garden stretched to there. It seems a bit of a distance, mind. I'm not convinced, but you know, I'm not a mega historian. Open-minded at the moment. It may be true, and there's St Mary's. It looks like the causeway is alright, so I can actually get across. There you go. Actually, a lot of the aircraft use St Mary's. They'll line up to get to Newcastle Airport, which is inland there. So I'll get a bit closer and try and explain Charlie's Garden. Can you believe it? Nice weather. And look, oh, there you go. That's St Mary's Island. That bit. Looks bloody miles away. I should have parked closer. What a nice day. Aye, so I'm going to get along there and show you Charlie's Garden. There's no garden on it now, mind. So, you know, don't expect any horticultural tips from me. You'll have to stay at the gardener's question time for that. You can see there's lobster pots out there. Hard to see, but there, that's one of the markets, I believe. So they're all the way out there. They'll go out and drop the pots off, come back, and hopefully get some lobsters. And then they sell them for, is it £5 each? And then the supermarkets or the restaurants double the price and charge you a tenner or 15, some of them. So there you go. So it's nice to be ripped off, isn't it? Ah, lovely. Let's get ripped off. Lovely place here, but if you're ever thinking of committing suicide, look, that's handy, isn't it? There you go. Jump here. Oh, cheers, that's nice. Aye, so look, Charlie's Garden. Let's see if I can give an explanation. So, originally, that stack of sandstone is apparently, as I'm told, used to be connected to this part of the cliff. So if you imagine it's linked, okay, in fact I'll draw this in, okay. So you link Charlie's Garden to the mainland there, and then if you imagine a garden on top, so you know, God knows what was on it, sunflowers, I don't know. So if you imagine that, that's allegedly what used to be there, therefore you get the name Charlie's Garden. I'm not convinced, because there's not enough rubble. I realise that that's been restructured at some point. Maybe they took all the rubble away, I don't know, but it seems a bit unlikely. Anyway, you can fish down here. I've fished over there at the end, but it's very rocky, so you lose all your stuff. And I'm a cheapskate. I use the same hook time and time again until it falls to bits. I'm not getting a new hook. Aye, so we'll have a little pop around there, eh? What's with all the crows? They're everywhere. What are they up to? There you go, Charlie's Garden, allegedly. Ever seen the film Cliffhanger? Talk about precarious. Look where that pigeon actually is. I know birds can fly, but Christ. Aha, Collywell beer. Oh dear, hang on, here's the bad news. Let's see. Nothing to ruin my fun. Deep water. Yeah, it's called the sea, it will be deep. Sudden drop. Well, it is if you fall off a cliff, right? What? No inflatables. Why? Okay. Large surf. Well, if the massive waves should stay out of them, Tides, you don't see at the beach. Strong undercurrents, yeah, there will be. Submerged objects, yeah, it's called the seabed. Dear me. I mean, I'm making light, but you do get some right plonkers down here. So I understand why that sign's there. It's not for people like me or the viewers, it's for plonkers. So fair enough. But you know me, I do like to take the pee. Whee! Pigeons! There's Charlie's garden, allegedly. I'm going to keep saying that because I couldn't find a sensible source. Or a picture of Charlie's garden. Now, is that the heron there? Looks like a big bird anyway. Where's he off to? There he is. Herons are massive, but as you can see, they bugger off. Even though you're miles away from them, they bugger off. So you can never get a shot of them. This is pretty steep. Christ, you wouldn't come here sunbathing, would you? Looks brutal. Actually, look. See the way that's curved up? That's to prevent erosion. You know, so obviously the water hits it and blasts up rather than up and over. It's trying to mirror it back on itself. It has a limited effect, but it does help and keep the storm defences longer. Because you cannot beat time or the tides. Time and tides wait for no man, as they say. Who was that king who sat on the beach and went, I'm king, so everyone has to do what I say. So he was having an argument with the tide, and the tide still came in. So time and tide waits for no man. So get out and do a bit of trail trekking. No excuse. Look at all these pebbles. If you ever want to do a bit of pebble dashing, you know where to come for a bag of pebbles. Look at them all. Wow. Now that's fake flint. I forget what the proper name for it is, but that's like, you know, like you get fool's gold. Well, this is like fool's flint. I'm pretty sure that's not proper flint, but people use it as such. I remember as a kid, I had a big one like that, and I used to get sparks for fires. Yeah, mate. Amount of pebbles, yeah. Now, if I can get close to Charlie's garden without falling, I'll have a look. Let's see what we're going to spot. Now that's kelp, or used to be. See, that's where it would attach to a rock. There you go. I'm not keen on this stuff, because when you're fishing, you pull the line in and you think, I've caught Moby Dick, that's it, I'm going to be famous, and you're pulling in a clump of this stuff. You end up a bit deflated. And there is, it looks like, that's either decaying kelp or, no, there it is. There you go. That's sea lettuce, you can eat that. Sea lettuce. And there is some not very well formed, but it's bladder rack, that. The way to tell is it's got these bladders. See this? That's, you hear it pop? In fact, I'll find some better examples. There you go. You can pop these. Listen. Well, if I had any strength, I'd be able to pop it. Hang on, try again. I'm not finding a bit now. But that's bladder rack. I think you can eat that as well. But it's pretty high in iodine. In fact, they used to use that. Let's see lettuce again. Almost looks like plastic, it's so bright. They used to use it for iodine production, I think, originally. So if you consume it, you can have too much. And look how those stones have been sculpted through the tides. Isn't that amazing? Look at that. Try and find an angle. There isn't one. So smooth. Wow. That's just a form of sandstone. Actually, no, it is. Yeah, it's sandstone. With the vein of quartz or something there. You can see it running all the way through. Isn't that amazing? And there's some cheeky limpets. Now essentially, all a limpet is it's a snail really that lives at the seaside. And what they'll do is they'll inhabit a rock like this mostly probably their entire life. And they'll go whoosh, and they'll scour off all the rubbish, all this gunk. Now, I'll show you a little trick. If you sneak up on them, you can take them off. Now, you see the way that one's got a gap? See the gap? You'll probably get him off, but watch. If you don't sneak up and you make a load of racket, watch. You can't really see, but the clamp on, there you go. That's not moving now. So if you sneak up on them and move them, you get a little bit of movement, and then after about half a second, you feel them clamp on. I'm not going to harm those ones. You can't eat them. I don't know if I would, but years ago I used to eat them. In fact, I used to use them for fishing bait. They were brilliant. So you'd kick them off, get that on your line, and the fish used to love it. Now what on earth are those birds braying on about? Shut up! There you go. So if I'm quick, I might be able to take these off, but I've got to do this one-handed, you understand, so it's not easy. Nah, not fast enough. Oh, I've moved them, but not enough. See, you've got half a second before the clamp on. If I put the camera down, I'll take one off. Hang on. Okay, I got one off. I picked on one of the smaller guys, so there you go. So it's just a snail really, and there's the foot. That's the suction cup, and you see at the front. Hang on, if I can get focused there. That's sort of the head. So it's just a snail. So if you imagine a head at the top there, and then a round body rather than the ones fitting into the curly things. So I'll pop him back because I don't want to cause any bother. Where should I put him? Put him there in the water, so he's got a bit of water there. There you go. You climb onto that. In fact, there's a normal snail. Well, I say that it is a mollusk, but it's actually a winkle, and you can eat them as well. So that's edible. That's a winkle, and that's edible. That's a limpet. You need to take the guts off, but you can eat them no problem. Same with winkles. You just boil them up, and boil both actually. Do like a barbecue, but that's never how we used to eat them. They're pretty tasteless. If you like salty stuff, I suppose you'll like it. Anyway, let's see if I can get over to Charlie's. There's probably no there, but we'll have a look. Now there's a better example of bladder rack. There, you see the bladders? It's almost like a flotation device, so if you listen, I'll try and pop it. Hear that? Pop. There you go. There's another one. I haven't got the strength to do that one. Nah. I did arms yesterday, so I'm a bit knackered. And you've got all these little rock pools. So let's see what we can spot. Let's head over to Charlie's. Here we are, Charlie's garden. There you go. Charlie's garden. There's no out here, to be honest. It's all just seaweed and limpets and pretty much what you'd expect. So, you know, if you don't come and visit it, you're not missing out. The question is, have you seen a rock before? If the answer is yes, no need to come and have a look, because it's very rockified. Aye, so, you know, they reckon that there behind me was attached to that mainland. Maybe it was. I could be completely wrong. It just seems a bit of a stretch of the imagination, but hey, who knows? Like I say, I'm not a historian. I'm just looking for the evidence. Where is it? I mean, you see that structure behind me is newer. Obviously, that's storm defence. It must have collapsed at some point. So maybe it is right. Who knows? Right, I'm going to have a look in these rock pools, because I think that could be kraken, massive lobsters, and sea creatures. Wish me luck. Right, it's quiz time. But I'm not going to tell you the answer this time like I did with the tree on my previous video. So there's the limpets, and these little buggers are barnacles. But what's that? You see I'm reflecting in it. Yoo-hoo! That's how shiny it is. So what is it? It's attached to the rock, and comments below. What is it? I'm not going to tell you this time. I know the answer. Oh, right. Well, I haven't found any monsters in the rock pools yet, so I shall continue my hunt. Was a fish the size of my fingernail, so disappointing. I was expecting huge leviathans. Guess it's the wrong time of year for a leviathan. Right, we're going to head along now. You couldn't sneak up on someone in this, could you? Crunch, 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 crunch. Instead of a burglar alarm, just by a gravel path. Look at the height of those storm defences. And even they'll just be temporary, because there comes a point when they fall down. I'll tell you another good thing this place is for. If you ever need some good old-fashioned slime, there you go. There's some lovely green slime. So if you're a Ghostbusters fan and you want some slime, treat yourself. I'm still yet to see anyone. Actually, no, that's a lie. I saw that bloke when I first started. He was weird. I saw him and I said, morning, dead loud, just ignored me. So obviously I'm a horrible person, you see, so if I see him again I'll remember. There's some more gorgeous slime. Oh, I love a bit of slime, that's nice. Looks like these steps are slime infested now. Look, there's some more slime. It's slime time. There he is, it's literally just slime. Now how old are these steps? Look. They're certainly weathered away. Who are these guys here? Are you enjoying the slime as well? tiny little birds. Right, we've made it. So that's where I came down. There's Charlie's Garden. There's the North Sea. I like pointing out the obvious. There's the sky, there's the sun, and there's the floor. There you go. Top tips from TrailTrek there. What the hell is that slime? It's like something from a horror film. In fact, I can actually hear it sort of oozing. Listen. Do you know what? I never thought I'd see some oozing slime today. I never thought I'd see it. But there it is. That's disgusting. That's probably full of life though. So I would imagine certain times of the year this becomes a slime fest. Welcome to Slime Fest. Look at it. Here's a carpet made out of slime. Not even sure what that is. Actually, do you know what it looks like? At first glance, it looks like sphagnum moss, but it cannot be because of where we are. So when you get closer, it's almost like a stringy sea lettuce. I don't know what that is. I can't identify it. I just don't know what that is. It's not that horrible lava bread stuff. Right, I'm going to be very careful on this slime. So if I end up looking at the sky, it's because I've fallen over. I can't wait to get out of Slime Fest. And what are those birds shouting at now? Shut up! There's that bird again. He'll not bugger off, will he? Can you not go to the other part of the slime? Look at that. I like the way he uses the stairs. No, I think that's just a sparrow, or is it? He's off. He's off. Right, so let's get to the top of Slime Mountain, shall we? Welcome to this week's edition of Extreme Corrosion. Look at that. It almost looks like an apple core that someone's been nibbling at. That's just caused by seawater. Look at that. I mean, that was thick metal at some point, look. Absolutely hammered by the sea. You can see through it at some parts. So there's a tip, untreated metal at the seaside doesn't last. Finally, I've made it to the top of Slime Mountain. Well, there's not a lot up here, it's just a street which curves along towards Hartley. Now, just on the horizon, there's the Lighthouse at St Mary's. So do you know what? I'm going to head back down and along because I want to go along the bottom. Just like a submarine, go along the bottom. Right, now what's this? Look. Now the answer isn't some muck, no, that's cool that.
You can tell because it's that light. So if you're after a bit of coal, come and get it from here. Look. You can see the lines as well, look what's been laid down. And the sedimentary lines. There you go. So you can fraction them along those points you see. So there's some coal, fill your boots. So at some point, there was a forest here millions of years ago. Very nice. So if you want a barbecue, just set fire to the rocks. Well, there's not a lot along here, but I'm going to head over there and then up the embankment there to the headland, and then we should be able to see St Mary's. And I'm just going to head along because I think I checked the tide tables, but I'm second guessing myself now, so I might get there and I can't get across unless I buy a rowing boat. So we'll have a look, eh? That rock there is an old fishing spot, but I wouldn't go on it these days. In fact, a lot of this is ready to collapse, so I wouldn't recommend it now. I'll tell you something though, it's nice and relaxing here. If you can stomach the death-defying, stomach-churning rocks and drops. There's Blythe. In fact, that there is Alcan, and it is, or used to be, aluminium, or aluminum if you're American. You miss out letters. So we're off to St Mary's. I've made it to Hartley Bay. So, where do we start? Seaton Sluice. Started here, and then I went along to Charlie's Garden, Collywell Bay, and then, although it's not mentioned, there's Hartley Bay, which I'm going to show you now. So, look at the size of that whopper. Christ. Here we are at Hartley Bay. Now, I've fished along there, that's called Hartley Skier. So you go all the way along and fish off into the sea, and then as the tide comes in you skedaddle back. Now rather than go along there, which is a pain in the arse, excuse me, I'm going to go along the top. It's windier up here, but you get a better view so you don't fall over in the muck. Aye, so St Mary's Island, so that used to have an inn on it. And was it called the Square Inch or something stupid like that? But can you imagine? It was so rowdy with drunks that they got evicted. Now in those days everyone was drunk, so can you imagine how bad they must have been? Dear me. Apparently there was people roving all over the shop drunk. Right, St Mary's Island. We're closing in fast. It's lovely down there, look. You can see we've come quite a distance and the actual sun's come out. Unbelievable, look. It's up there somewhere. It's a nice view up here. It's a bit precarious, but I'm ready to fall over, but nice. So we've made it. So there's the island. Now the tide to me, we've got a good 4 or 5 hours easy. Well, no, hang on. 3 hours maybe before the water comes in. So I'll hightail it over there and maybe do a time lapse and have a spot of lunch. I think you can get to the top of that lighthouse, but you've got to pay, so get lost, I'm not paying. Do you want to learn about history? Aha, you've got to pay, get lost. Aha! We've made it. There's St Mary's. Or there's some hot donuts. I think I'll go to St Mary's instead, it's free. I can see the tide's way out, and there's the causeway that there's people on there. So they're walking across, but that, the entirety of that gets covered when the tide comes in. There's not a lot left. So if you're on there when the tide comes in, tough, you're stuck there for 6 hours. Well, I say 6 hours, but you know, 4.5 maybe. You can't even see where we came from, we've come that far, it's around that corner. Let's see what's on the island. I know this might sound horrible, but well, they're not getting a bit carried away with these memorial benches. Look at them all, it's like a flipping traffic jam. Get some more in, that's it, shove them in. 10 more, 20 more, 30 more. I mean, I know it's sad that people die, but it's starting to look like a reclamation yard. Dear me. Two bits of wildlife there. There's a winkle and there's a fish just basking in the sun there. There's loads of rock pools around here. Look at them all. If you like rock pools, there's plenty of them here. You get seals out there as well, but it's only at certain times of the year. There's the lighthouse. There's a little fish. He's having a right bask in the sunshine. So these rock pools are full of life. There's another one there. And he's off. So obviously the young fish you see, they're all hiding here until they become big enough to look after themselves. Look at him, to go mental. But most of these pools you might not see them, but there will be fish in them. The best way to find them, I find, is jump on a rock and you see all the fish dart away. There's another one. All the fish dart away, you see, and you just need to see where they've gone to. But they just seem to be basking in the sun at the minute. These pools look really clean and they're full of winkles as well, which you can eat. There's 1, 2, 3. So plenty to eat around here. Well, the tide's coming in, so as you can see, soon I'll not be able to use the causeway, so I'm going to bugger off. That's where we started, all the way up there. Right, I'm off. The causeway has nearly got water over it, so it's time to do a runner. And it's a nice day, look. Blue skies, clouds, but you know, can't have everything. So anyway, St Mary's Island's pretty nice. Now I wasn't able to go around the back too much because there was a woman there who said she was from something or other. Oh, and she says you can't go there because of the wildlife. I mean, I'm in two minds about that. First mind says, yeah, you've got to protect the environment. And then the second mind says, well, what if you want to go and have a look? I suppose you've got to have that rule though, because some people will just go with the dog and, you know, get the barbecue on, get the bottles of booze out, get the music on and just ruin it. So, fair enough. So she says she doesn't want people going around there. So, who might argue where? Anyway, I'm heading back. There's St Mary's there. Now you can see the causeway now is, well, it's usable, but just give that half an hour and you're not able to get across. So the water is coming in, and I've still got a long way to go. And there's Collywell Bay now. Look, tide's come in. You've got the stack from Charlie's, not Charlie's Angels, from Charlie's garden there, but you kind of get to it now because of the water, and I can't walk along the beach, so I'm going to have to go along the top. So what a difference a tide makes. What a difference a tide makes. 24,000 little waves. So we'll head along the top there, and I'm pretty hungry and thirsty. Just found a little garden here, and quite kindly it says help yourself, so I like that. So there's mint and all sorts of things, and it's entitled Plants That Heal. So there's all sorts here, so come and fill your boots, and there's a bee. Whee. Well, there you go, communal garden, help yourself, lavender the lot, very nice. And there's St Mary's in the distance. I'm nearly back now. There's some poppies there, quite apt actually, because there's the war memorial, and poppies in this country are associated with the war. That's for the people who lost their lives in the First and Second World War. So thanks to thick moronic governments who are idiots, loads of people lost their lives. Thanks for that, you absolute morons. Poor soldiers. Just normal people trying to mind their own business. So nice to see some poppies near that. We'll get them on Remembrance Day. Alright, this is pretty much where I started, and as you can see, the boats have some water now. In fact, I think one of them's going to bugger off. There he is. He's waving to someone so they can get in and out. That channel there was created by dynamite. The ships don't use that, they just use the normal mouth. So, I'm off. Just spotted a good mantra for life here. Alison's place. The tide ebbs and flows, whatever fuss we make. Breathe, enjoy the moment. Go share joy, peace and love. Exactly. A little less wars and a little more relaxation might help. Anyway, that's just my waffle. That's what I think. Look at them. They've caught a dog. Look. I caught a dog with a life jacket on it. Whoa! Right, I'm back. So, it's been a good day. The sun's been out, nice. Had a bit of a chat with some wifey at the St Mary's who was going on about the nature reserve, because I wanted to find out why people aren't allowed to go on the rocks. And she said, you are allowed to go on the rocks, there's no legal requirement, however they don't want people on because it scares the seals and all this, that and that. So I can see both sides of the argument. As a fisherman, I think people should be allowed on it, but if you let some people go on it, then everyone's got to go on it, and then when everyone goes on it, there's droves of people left, right and centre, and then all the animals get displaced. So you can't really win, can you? I think both sides of the argument are right. Plus, even as a fisherman, I wouldn't necessarily fish near seals anyway, because if you do, they knacker all the fish anyway, so you're not catching anything. So it's been a good day. I've learnt a little bit of history. And St Mary's was packed. I did a quick time lapse of the causeway that goes over there, and it's absolutely packed. The amount of people who came and went, it was just unbelievable. So by the time I've got back to the car here, it's jam packed. Mostly with people droving around eating chips, but you know, it's a free country. well, relatively free. You can't murder people. So I'm heading back now because I'm thirsty and hungry, and it's getting quite warm now. So catch you around. Bing bong!